live.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in onto the point with
Skip.
and the King. You guys know where to find Simon Broder at Dougie J's on Twitter. Right there, SimonBroder.com. Go on Amazon.ca. Go buy the book. Go give it a read. Come on, it's a quick read. Buy it for your kids. It's all about the children.
Yeah, it's a great book for your kid. You know, I don't think Christmas is coming up, but anyone age like 8 to 12, something in there, check it out.
Especially if they love basketball just as much as you do, if not even more. All right, Skip, speaking of loving basketball, man, what'd you do for Valentine's Day weekend?
I watched the Raptors lose to the Timberwolves. You know, not the most depressing sports thing you could do, because I did see that on Valentine's Day, one of the channels was rerunning the episode of Game 7 of the 2011 Stanley Cup Conference Finals. Was that 2011 where the Leafs lost to the Bruins?
I'm not sure. Let's ask Andrew Reece on the Reece Report. Let's ask him. He knows everything about that.
Anyway, the year they blew that horrible series to the Bruins, they were playing Game 7 of that series on Valentine's Day for all the people who were sad and lonely. I wanted to be sadder and lonelier.
Well, I was sad and lonely on Valentine's Day because normally I would be watching the slam dunk competition, the three-point shootout, the skills challenge, and most importantly, the All-Star game. But now, this year, that's been postponed till March 7th. Now, okay, guys, you can look it up right there. Look at all the players that are involved that just got voted in as the NBA All-Star starters on the Western Conference. You have the LeBron James as the captain. Nikola Jokic, the Joker. You got to love that. He deserves it. Kawhi Leonard. Does that hurt you, Raptors fans? Toronto Raptors fans. You obviously got my favorite player that I like to watch in the league right now, Steph Curry. Okay. You also got Luka Doncic, who has a huge upside to him. And then on the other side, on the Eastern Conference, you have Kevin Durant as the captain. You have Joel Embiid, who just put up 50 points the other night, which was absolutely phenomenal.
I think
pretty cool.
I think Giannis is the captain. Is it Katie?
Durant.
It might be Katie. All right.
Durant is. Giannis is on the team. He's the other forward.
Yeah.
Tikanis to everybody out there in Greece. You know, we love you and thank you for watching the show. The other guard is Mr. Flat Earth. I went to a birthday party. I don't want to play unless Durant's play. Let's not get into that. You know who I'm talking about, Kyrie Irving. Then you also have somebody who notably, yeah, I don't know, right? No, you have somebody else notably who is the other guard and should have been selected as an All-Star years before if he wasn't in John Wall's shadow, which is Bradley Beal. I think this is going to shape up to be a good All-Star weekend. Unfortunately, it's the three-point shootout, the skills challenge before the game, then at halftime, it's the dunk competition. We don't know who all the participants are in those events. I think it just sucks that it's all got condensed into one day.
Are you kidding?
I like what
I totally disagree. Hang on. I totally disagree right here. This is the worst part about All-Star Weekend is how they spread everything out over 3 days, and it's like hours of watching nothing, and then you get like a little three-point competition here, a little dunk competition here. The one good thing about this All-Star game is that they're just going to get to the point, and they're going to play the game, and then they're going to have the dunk contest right there. They're going to get to the point, and they're going to play.
There we go.
They're going to play the game, and they're going to have the dunk contest right in the middle of the game. That's exactly how it should be. That's the whole idea about All-Star game is like you show up, you watch one game, and you get all the pizzazz and excitement. You don't have to sit there and watch like hours and hours of talking heads. Just get right to the fun stuff. So I am going to watch the All-Star game for that reason, but there's a lot of issues with this All-Star game, which I don't know if we'll get into, but
And the reason why they are condensed into one day, which Adam Silver said that they are not having any parties, they're not doing anything at all for human interaction because of the COVID-19 virus. Now, Skip, I gotta ask you, you said this a couple of weeks ago when we spoke about the All-Star game. You guys can go look this up. You said this, that you don't think there should be an All-Star game due to the COVID-19 virus, and you don't want to see any of your Toronto Raptors catching COVID. Now,
Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you satisfied with the fact that none of your Raptors are in the All-Star game because of COVID?
Well, okay, there's two questions there. So first of all, it's only the starters that have been named so far. So there easily could be a Raptor on the bench. I still don't think they should be playing the game. I would be happy if they weren't. I'll be happy if Raptors don't get selected because they can just take their time off and not put themselves at exposure. I think it's kind of dumb to be having the All-Star game. I'm not a fan of the All-Star game anyway, despite what I said 2 minutes ago. I don't care about the All-Star game that much. I care about...
You also said that a couple of weeks ago, too.
I care about, like, who gets selected, but, like, I'd way rather watch playoff basketball than some stupid exhibition game. But, yeah, so I honestly think, yeah, they could have just sat this one out. That's my point. And I for COVID reasons, I would rather that this wasn't happening.
So you're satisfied that no Raptors were named as starters?
Well, as starters, yeah. Well, we could get into, like, I don't even know if the Raptors do have an all-star this year. Even if you go down to the bench, like, there's been a lot of buzz around Van Vliet as kind of being the candidate du jour because Siakam got off to a slow start. Because Siakam got off to a slow start, because Lowry just kind of hasn't quite been himself this year, and he's been in and out of the lineup a little bit. He's been fine, but not numbers that pop off the page. And with the Raptors being under 500 up until, like, yesterday, I think there just wasn't a lot of emphasis on getting a Raptor on the All-Star team, because it just feels like when you're 27-10 or whatever, you feel like you deserve an All-Star. You're like, why are we not getting an All-Star? When you're 15-15, it's like, okay, if you have a guy who's showing out, then he should be on the team. But, like, if you just have a bunch of guys who are making 19, 20 points a game, I think Van Vliet had a terrific season. I think he deserves to be in this conversation. He's really good on defense, which doesn't show up in the numbers as much. He leads the league in deflections. I think he might also lead in steals, or sometimes those are the same thing. But essentially, he's a really good player. He deserves to be in the conversation. But, like, I'm not going to cry if Van Vliet doesn't make the All-Star team. I'm not going to cry if the Raptors don't have an All-Star this year. If he gets better next year, maybe he makes it next year. But there's lots of candidates out there that are really deserving, that have numbers that jump off the page. So, yeah, I'm not going to cry if the Raptors don't have an All-Star.
Okay. Speaking of the All-Star game, and considering there are no Raptors on there, now I got to get deeper into this with you. Do you think anybody got snubbed as a starting All-Star?
Well, I think there's a couple guys you can make cases for. I think
such as who?
I think Dame really deserved to be a starter this year. He's rocking about 30 points a game. It was Luka, and who was the other guard in the E West?
Steph.
Oh, Steph.
The chef. Curry.
So that's the thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I think he had to make it over Luka then, because he's not making it over Steph. I don't know. I'm a little colored because when I saw the Raptors play the Mavs, Luka was kind of trash. But I think the way that Dame has really taken that Blazers team by the scruff of their necks, basically, and just done it all on his own, I really do think Dame probably deserved to get in, and Luka could have been there on the bench maybe. And over in the East, over in the East, I would say probably the best. The closest one is Harden, but it's tough because obviously he was
Mr. Frequent Flyer Miles, who travels a lot.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Okay.
But obviously, it's a little weird because he was in Houston to start the year, and then didn't play the full first half in Brooklyn. He's been really good, but he's also like there's three wheels to that turnstile in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a tricycle.
Yeah, so I think Harden is probably the guy, and I think if you're gonna knock someone off for him, it's got to be Beal. Even though I know Beal is having an amazing actually, does it? Maybe it has to be Kyrie because Beal's having such a good season.
Yes.
Beal's having such a good season, but his team is so bad, and he's so bad on defense. Like, I don't know if it's because he's personally bad at defense, but you can't stand there on a team that like just gives up 150 points a game and say I'm good at defense. Like,
yeah, because he's got Russell Westbrook, Mr. No Defense.
Well,
anyway,
I mean, Beal just kind of feels like a chucker at this point. Big numbers on a bad team.
He deserves it. I think he deserves it.
He's a good player. Like, don't get me wrong. He's a very good player, but I can't sit here.
Guys like him
really
and Jay
McCollum. Yeah, he probably deserves it just because I think he leads the league in points right now. But
yep,
I can't feel great about it. I think, but yeah, I guess you got to put one Brooklyn guard in and leave Beal on the All-Star team. But yeah, so my closest one is Harden. There was some talk about the Boston guys deserving to be starters, Jason and Jalen.
There's no Tatum, there's no Brown, there's no Smart, there's no Kemba, there's no.
But the
what?
same thing. I know. The same thing applies for the Raptors. Like, the Celtics are like 500 too. So they're definitely those guys are definitely more central to what the Celtics do than Van Vliet is to what the Raptors do. But
yeah,
I still think like when you're going up and down the list, I don't think those guys really jump off the page to me as starters. They are all-stars. They'll make the team, but I don't feel like they deserve to bump anybody. So yeah, that's about where I'm at. I think the teams were pretty good this year, to be honest. I didn't really feel like a lot of guys were making it on legacy or crappy players were just kind of getting thrown in there. I think everyone deserved to be there, and it's just a matter of did they deserve to be the fifth starter or the first guy off the bench. Like, that's pretty much all it is. So Brian doesn't agree, apparently.
Wow. How in the hell is the all-time leader in turnovers the captain of the freaking all-star team? No.
God.
That should have been Dame Lillard. LeBron only is in there just due to popularity, not due to work ethic, not due to what you're putting on the court, not due to anything else.
Brian,
just popularity.
I'm having a problem taking you seriously right now.
No, I don't think LeBron deserves to be the starter or the captain on that Western Conference. That Western Conference is so freaking deep. You could have had guys like Devin Booker, Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell. Oh, not Trae Young, sorry. Devin Mitchell. You could have put Rudy Gobert in there. All these guys are deserving and worthy of it based on what they've done. LeBron should not have been up there. Andrew Reece, get at me on this one. We'll talk about this, okay?
Brian,
LeBron should not.
I can't even. If you don't think LeBron deserves to be an All-Star, like, come on, man.
No.
Where are the Lakers in the Western Conference?
Not at all.
They're second.
Not at
I think
all.
they're second right now, right?
And how good do they do without Davis? Yeah, exactly. LeBron can't do it.
Actually, the Lakers have a really good net rating with LeBron on the floor and a really bad net rating with only Davis on the floor. So
yeah, but they only win with Davis. My only stat that I care about is wins. Win.
I can't even
win the
argue
damn game.
LeBron is the best player, one of the best players in the world. If he's not the best, he's like the fourth best at this point. So LeBron deserves everything he gets.
Oh, he doesn't deserve to be on the All-Star team. I think they could have picked somebody else that would have been better. Right? You could have shuffled it around. I personally disagree with that. But however,
I'm embarrassed to be on this with you right now. I'm literally embarrassed to be here right now.
Oh, come on, Skip. You know my stance on LeBron,
yeah,
the golden child. But however, we are going to be watching this on March 7th.
Yep.
And we will be covering it for you guys out there. We will be. We'll talk about it. You guys can get at us. You don't like what I had to say about LeBron? Go ahead. Come at me. Bring it on. I ain't shying from nothing. But we will be watching it. We will be enjoying it. It's going to be a great day. We're all going to have fun. I'm pretty sure the players and the fans and the celebrities are going to be having fun as well. I think it's a good thing for the league. I understand where you're coming from, Skip, about the whole COVID and the contact and the tracing and how it can affect other teams. Um, to be quite honest, I'm perfectly fine if any of the Toronto Raptors are not part of the All Star team. This way, Toronto does not get inhibited by having players being quarantined and can't play because they need to make the wins because it is the regular season. And like you said earlier, your words were exhibition game, right? And they can go forward in the playoffs, climb up the standings, and get better. You want to come? You want to do a Zoom chat and watch the game, man?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll give you a call.
Kind of miss human interaction.
Anyway, guys,
all right, guys,
let's get out of here. But
more importantly, what we have to say is what you guys got to say. You guys, you know what to do. Go down there, click subscribe, click like, leave us a comment. We will get back at you. If you're on Facebook, whatever, wherever we post this, get back at us. We would love to hear back from you guys. So on that note, good afternoon, good morning, good night, and
peace.